Hi YouTube, I'm David from digitalbyte.com, and today's video is going to be a continuation from my previous video about jQuery's Ajax function. With that in mind, I'll be demonstrating how to use the JSON data type with Ajax. This allows us to send a PHP array back to the jQuery page through which you requested it. From there you can call other functions to create a much more dynamic or visual website. Okay, let's get started. Anyhow, this is what we're going to be doing. So basically when we click on a new link, it's going to request a PHP document for this new content, and as you see, the background color for the content changes, and I've sent this along with the content, so that's my PHP document is sending over an array to the jQuery, and jQuery can use the different values, and one, replace the content, and two, replace the color. Okay, this is our old documents. It's exactly the same, haven't changed anything in this document yet. If you are new to this video and you haven't watched the other video yet, I would recommend you just hop over to digitalbyte.com and just download these two files. These are the two files which we'll be using and modifying and upgrading to make it look like the site that you saw not too long ago. So once you download these two, put it into a file on your homepage or whatever. Okay, to begin, let's change our Ajax function straight away. So the type we're sending over is a post, and the URL we're sending it over to load.php, so that's just the name of our PHP file. So we're going to be putting an enter in, and we're going to say data type. We're going to say JSON. So that means, and don't forget our comma at the end. Yep. So after we've added the data type, we'll leave this one here because we're going to be modifying it later on, but let's hop over to our load.php file. It should look something like this, and we'll go from there. So we're going to be putting all these echoes into an array, and to do so, we're going to say we have to create a new variable. We're going to call it result. And we're going to say that equal to array, bracket, bracket, semicolon. We're going to open this up a bit, and to make the array we have to say bracket bracket equals greater than sign bracket bracket comma. There we go. So that's a basic PHP array. So whenever we're going to be requesting an array, we're going to put in the name here, the request name here, so home. For example, it's going to go over here. So when we're going to request it, we're going to say, okay, echo result array with whatever corresponds to home. And we're going to say, okay, what's home going to equal to? It's going to equal to this text right here. Put that in there. We've said bracket because we're going to add the other three. So we're going to do that again. Bracket, bracket equals greater than, equals greater than, bracket, bracket, comma. And we're just going to copy that to save a bit of time. Okay, we're going to say, get those details. We live in the city of Adelaide. Well, I do. It's pet shop. This pet shop does. Details. And the last one is shop. We're going to take that there. Copy. Paste. So once we've done that, we can get rid of these brackets inside here. That's not needed anymore. Get rid of those. Our Dreamweaver is telling us we've got an error. It's because we haven't finished off our function. We've just said echo and then it doesn't know what's going on, but we'll get to that in a sec. And to clean this up, we can say $result bracket the square brackets semicolon. We can copy that as well. Actually, before we copy it, we have to put two speech marks. Single speech marks. Okay, now because we want to get the information from home, we say home. We want to get the detail. We want to get the whatever equals to details. So we say details. And the last one we'll say shop. So that there, if we have to save that and upload that to our web server, we tested out, it's going to work exactly the same as our old web page. And I'll find our old one for a sec. So that's our old one. It's going to function exactly the same, except it's just picking it from an array. So it looks cleaner. We need it to do it that way to make our double array encrypted sort of two-way array thing we're going to be doing. Whoop. Okay, so we've got one thing we're sending over, but we want to do an array. We want to send over a second function content or something like that. And to do so, I'm going to make it so, like you saw before, that it changes the color, the background color, every time we choose a new one. We have to give our array a name, so we call it color. We say array, bracket, and bracket, semicolon. And once again, we go double. It can be double brackets, or it can be double single brackets. Doesn't really matter. And then we can go equals, greater than, because it's saying that this value equals this, and we say comma, and we copy that another 2 times, but make sure the last one get rid of the comma at the end. Then we can say home, get rid of caps. Second one we can say details, and the last one we can say shop. Okay, so basically I'm going to make it that the background equals to a hex value. You can choose whatever value you want. What I did is I went back to my HTML document, and up here I just got rid of the old value, select color, and I just went browsing and then just picked some random numbers. I'm going to quickly pick my 3 random numbers, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I've found some three hex values. So this one is white, this one is like a pink, I think, and the last one is maybe an orange. I've already forgotten which one's which. Anyhow, we're going to be sending over basically the content, and we want to send over which background color it also equals. To do that, we have to send over an array. Basically, we'll do a couple enters just so we can write it on the new line, and then we'll delete this part at the bottom later on. So we want to say, and we want to call an inbuilt PHP function. So we want to say Json underscore encode. Yep, bracket, semicolon. And we want to echo this. So we want to say echo this JSON encoded array, because that's what our Ajax is hoping to get in result. And we want to say, okay, we want to echo an array, a new array actually. So within this array, we're going to be specifying the background color and the content. So what we have to do is, once again, do the double, single, double bracket, doesn't really matter, equals to greater, double bracket again, sorry, double quotes, comma, again, once again, equals, greater than, double quote, and here we'll say content, and this one will say color. So the content is going to equal to, it's basically going to equal to this over here. I'm going to grab that, I'm going to say, there we go, that's what it's going to equal to. And the color, once again, it's sort of the same thing. I'll write this one out for you this time. I'm going to say, okay, $, because we're calling that a value, bracket. Within there, we're going to say we want the value which equals to home. And we can get rid of this part here at the bottom. It still says my thing is not working. Oh. It says my thing's not, oh, whoops. There we go, fixed. Didn't see that one. Anyhow, yep, so we do the same thing for the next 2 lines. Copy this, paste, change it to details, and we do it again for shop and shop. we're sort of hard coding this part in, but you can grab these details from a MySQL database, and you can create an array that way. But for now, we're just hard coding it in, because I just want to show you how to actually build the array and how to send it over encoded as JSON. So once we've done that, once we've completed all this and we've reconfigured, rewritten our code, and so once we've put all of our old values into an array and added a new array called color, so we want to choose our background color. It can be any type of message or whatever you want to transfer over to that jQuery return function, that success function. Okay, we're going to go back to our document. We're going to go all the way back down to our Ajax function, and we're going to say, and it's the return, so on success it's going to create a function, and we need a variable that's going to equal to that array. We're just going to call it data for now. Okay, so we're still going to say content is the div where all of our content is going to be displayed, and HTML means basically get rid of whatever's in there at the moment and replace it with what's in the bracket. And we're going to say, okay, we want to use our data, full stop, our decimal, and then what did we call it again? Content. So we say content. So basically this means we want to use the array called data, and then we want to access whatever content equals to, and content is going to be equaling to whatever we want to load. So if we have to save that, it will still function exactly the same as our old document. To make it that one more step unique, we're going to make it so it changes the background color. We want to say double bracket dot CSS, end the bracket, semicolon. In here we want to say, okay, we want to change the background for content. So this function here is basically we can change or add styles. It's pretty cool. For today we're just going to use two single quotes, comma, single quotes. So in this first section we're going to say what styling function we want to change. Well, we want to change back, I think it's, oh no it's not, background, it's like a single dash, color without the U, and we want to replace it with the color value. Because we're going to be taking the value from an array, we don't need those quotes. You only need those quotes if you want to hard code, hard write the value in there, sort of like this. See, we're actually hard writing it in there. So if you're taking the name from variables or from arrays or whatever, you don't need to put that in there, sort of like we did here. We just said data content. Okay, we want to say access that array again, and we're going to be accessing that second part of that array. So we've taken content right here. We've taken content. Now we want to access this part here. We call it color. Full stop. COULR. And we've accessed the color. So if we have to save those two files there, and we head over back to our page, this one here we cannot use. It will end up looking like this. So every time we click on a new one, not list, it's going to change the content and the color at the same time. To make our page look a bit smarter, I'm going to steal the style sheet that I've written on this new document. Copy, paste. So it's going to look much prettier, and it's actually quite a nice website, you know, overall. So it's quite functional. So something like this, it's functional, it works well. It's more of a demo. I wouldn't really use this in real life situation because it's not actually search engine optimized. It's not really friendly, because when the search engine crawls your website, it's only going to find the default web page, and that's basically not even with this part in there. It's going to find nothing in there. Actually, we can go Firefox, Web Development Tools, Web Developer. We can say View Page Source. So this is our page. There's our style sheet, our navigation bar. I've added the logo div at the top. So when you request your site for indexing by Google, once it requests your page, it would actually get it with even nothing in the contents, and it won't even load the default the default page. So that's why this website, it's not really recommended. This method's not really recommended for search engine optimization. I would recommend something building this website through PHP and PHP variables. So something like, if you were to do digitalbyte.com/home, you can go / page equals to details and language equals to English and author equals to David, I don't know, something like that, and you can add those variables in there. And then that way, that method there becomes search engine optimized. Okay, so hopefully you've learnt a lot and you've managed to follow along, and I'll repost these details into a new page on my website. I'll just rename the files and call them version. Well, I won't rename it actually. I'll create a new set of files. I'll just call them version 2, so you know which one's which. You can download the old one. You can download the new one. Take a look at it. Watch this guide tutorial. Watch the old one as well, and sort of work your way through it. So you can use this type of method into your own application or whatever web app, and send over multiple variables and the corresponding content you want with that variable. It can be as simple as actually the actual page data, or it can be as small as a background hex code. Doesn't really matter. Hopefully you've learned something. This is David from digitalbyte.com.